President Vladimir Putin spoke on Russian television to express his sympathy and his outrage. This goes beyond the United States' national borders, he said. It's a wanton act of contempt against all humanity. I want to tell the American people on behalf of Russia, we are with you. We share and feel your pain.
And the Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin says nations have to put disputes aside when addressing such global threats as terrorism. He was speaking during a meeting just outside Moscow with members of the Valdai Political Forum.
We mourn the victims of the September 11 attacks, just as we did back in 2001. Like no other country, Russia knows what a terrorist act is like. On September the 3rd, we too marked a day to commemorate those killed in terror attacks in Russia. It's yet another reminder that we have to put aside any possible differences and join forces in the face of common challenges.
And something that Vladimir Putin said that bothered him as well is Adam versus the man's own Luke Rudowski. Luke?
Thanks for having me. Good point. And the former KGB officer, the appointed Prime Minister of Russia, came out with another quote that I disagree with. And at a recent Seliger 2011 Youth Forum, Putin was asked whether 9/11 was an inside job or not. Now, Mr. Putin responded, it's complete nonsense, and that it would be impossible to conceal. I mean, impossible to conceal? Really? I mean, I don't like the term inside job, but many people say it because of all the concealed evidence. The black boxes, the surveillance cameras, the government documents that have been either sealed or destroyed. I mean, just look at the government whistleblowers releasing concealed information that contradicts the official story. There's government insiders like former FBI whistleblower Sybil Edmonds, who testified how the U.S. intelligence agencies have been working with Osama bin Laden all the way up till September 11, 2001. There's Michael Springman, a U.S. government official working in the embassy of Saudi Arabia, that whistleblowed how the CIA was ordering him to approve passports to known al-Qaeda terrorists inside the United States. There's also, of course, Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Schaefer, who came out about the Able Danger programs, which 2.5 terabytes of information were destroyed, concealed.
Airport traffic controllers were ordered to destroy all recorded evidence of the event. Some of them physically broke the CDs and scattered the pieces into different trash containers at the airports. The wreckage was gathered together and shipped overseas. No one was allowed to investigate it.
Меня удивляет другое, насколько же все-таки мощной является пропагандистская машина так называемого Запада. Просто это потрясающе. Удивительно. Это ни в какие ворота, как у нас говорят.
There is one thing that defines everyone over the course of these early years of this new century. That thing is the 9/11 attack. Everyone in government in every field of endeavor, the world over, is defined by their position on this event. It is only necessary to know the extent of the lies in order to define any leader in any position anywhere in the world. By what they have said and by what they have not said, one can accurately judge who is an enemy of the peoples of the world. One can accurately determine who is a tool of the psychopaths, or one of them. People in government who have questioned the official story have been fired from their jobs or driven from office by the very party they are a member of. University professors are fired for discussing it. Major websites composed of experts in their fields are ignored and even censured, given that the official story is patently absurd. Anyone who promotes the official story, who accepts the official story, who oppresses those who doubt the official story, who does not question the official story, is involved or too stupid to pat their head and chew gum at the same time. It all comes down to 9/11. Everything that has happened based on a lie. Everyone in government, in the media, in entertainment, in organized religion, in the public eye, and in the public who accepts and promotes the official story is either a traitor or a tool. Everyone who does not stand forth and speak truth to power is a coward, a liar, and complicit in mass murder. Everyone, everywhere can be measured according to this litmus test.
Абсолютно, я не верю, что здесь, в этом зале, есть люди, которые не знают реалий. Во всяком случае, вот в этом зале. Все прекрасно понимают и знают, как события разворачивались в действительности.
And ask yourself why, and this is a question I've had for a lot of people. A lot of people think Putin is on the up and up. But Mr. Putin, in a single broadcast, could sink everybody and wake up the entire world by just telling everybody the truth about the Mossad's activity in 9/11, much like the ex-Italian prime minister did. But Putin would have a bigger stage, and he could punctuate it with intelligence information. So what does that give you as Mr. Putin's motivations? Is Russia still thoroughly controlled by Zionist interests? But I do know he's not a truth teller, and I do know he's not willing to save the rest of the Western world, because the rest of the Western governments are all allowing decisions to be made politically based upon the lie of 9/11.
Now I'm going to tell you something important which very few touch upon. But because I was raised as a Jew, I know every Zionist rock to look under. There are 12 district Federal Reserve branches spread throughout the United States, but only one branch wields the real power. This is the New York Federal Reserve Bank. The New York Federal Reserve Bank has arrogated to itself the right, which no other branch has, to maintain the nation's payment system. This is monies in and monies out of the U.S. government, a very critical and sensitive operation in the hands of 3 Zionist Jews. They are, first of all, Jamie Dimon. Now, Jamie Dimon is chairman of the board of the New York Fed. He just happens to be the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, one of the principal shareholders of the Fed. Jamie Dimon passes himself off as a Gentile. He's not. His grandfather was a Jewish Greek immigrant who settled in Queens, New York. His grandfather was part of a large Jewish banking dynasty which operated out of Smyrna during the Ottoman period. Jamie Dimon is simply a product of Zionist networking. 2 other Jews serve on the board of the New York Fed. They are Jeffrey Kindler, who is the CEO of Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and James Tisch. James Tisch is the CEO of CNA Financial. Apparently, both of these men are also stockholders of the Fed, these Zionist thieves. I was raised as a Jew in an upper middle class synagogue. We all knew who owned the Federal Reserve Bank, and we were proud of it. You see, the Federal Reserve Bank, in fact, is a privately held bank, a consortium of private Jewish banks who make simple book entries and loan these entries to the U.S. government at a very high interest. These Zionist thieves. We owe, and it's off to work we go at lower wages with an increasing high cost of living to pay off these loan sharks. I'm going to tell you who owns the Federal Reserve Bank. I'm going to tell you who these Jewish loan sharks are. You see, I've got inside information. The principal holders are three. N.M. Rothschild and Sons out of London. Jacob Rothschild is the head of N.M. Rothschilds. 2, Goldman Sachs. Lloyd Blankfein is the head of Goldman Sachs. And 3, the Moses Seife Bank. The Moses Seife family out of Italy runs the Moses Seife Bank, and they are the principal holders of the Federal Reserve Bank. There are no Smiths, there are no Wagners, and there are no Solomons on this list. And men like Ben Shalom Bernanke and his mentor, Alan Greenspan, are simply agents for these international bankers who do not care about America's interests, but their own interests. This, the Zionist seizure of America's monetary system. Every U.S. president is owned by this Zionist force.